Welcome to today's episode of Green Pastures, and the topic for today is the challenge of the ideal of efficiency in the corporate world to the family. And we have a wonderful panel here today.
My name is Angie Wilson. I'm from Malaysia. I'm attached with a relocation company.
My name is Elizabeth, and I'm here with my daughter Angie and Melissa.
My name is Orlando Fernandez. I'm from Goa. I'm currently working in Dubai for an IT company.
Hi, my name is Annette Fernandez, born and brought up in Bombay and currently working in Dubai as an administrator, and I'm an active member of the youth ministry.
Hi, I am Melissa Wilson. I'm from Malaysia and I'm working with the University of Nottingham Malaysia campus, and I'm a part-time student at Sugi College Subang Jaya campus.
Elizabeth, what do you have to say about this topic?
Working life is normal nowadays for parents, because if one person works, you cannot survive nowadays.
True.
So it's compulsory that both husband and wife work. But then, if you're working, you must consider your children also at home. Because I've been working for the past about 35 years. I've been working, and I'm still working. But I and my husband, we will discuss how to spend our time with our children. From the morning, we had my mother-in-law. I was staying with my mother-in-law earlier. And then, we have time. We discuss that we put them in my mother-in-law's place. And then after work, we make sure that we collect our children and we spend time. You see, when I do the cooking, you will be with them checking what they are doing and what was in the kindergarten, how they spend the time, And that's how my daughter Angie was very attached to father. Most of the time father spent. And my son would be in the kitchen with me, saying, "Mommy, what you are doing?" And he was helping me. So it is compulsory for parents to spend the time with the children, because if you don't spend time, you won't know what your children are doing and what was happening. It can be a kindergarten. It's a daycare or what, but then you won't know how your children were spending there, what they've been doing there, and what the people told them. So you can just ask them what it was, what they had for lunch, and how they spent. It's nice, because majority of the time we are working. Sometimes, we start work at 9 o'clock. We're supposed to come back at 5, and then maybe we are forced by the office side to stay back.
Yes.
So that's the problem. When we come at that time of time, and when we don't have time for children, the children will miss us. And they will start finding for other people to spend their time with.
Today's world, it always demands for more. Depending on each, whatever role you have in your current organization. It could be, I think, but at the moment now, whatever job profile you have, they always look for a 100% commitment. And the competition is always there. I know in Dubai, the job situation is so critical, where they know if you cannot give what they demand and follow their demands, there is always someone else to do it. And I think in that race where everybody's trying to give their best, if it's more, you have to go out of that way to give your best. Otherwise, they always look at someone else for that competition. But yes, I agree with Elizabeth at the same time that I guess somewhere you have to draw that line and keep that balance so that you're not missing out on family. Because otherwise, at the end of the day, if it's too late, then you're exhausted. You just want to stop it there and just say, I really want to just wind up the day.
Okay. What about you, Melissa?
As I'm working in the university, I've been to my mom's office, so there is an auntie, okay. She spends her time, okay, she works. She comes in very early to work. We start work at 9 and we finish at 5:30. So she'll come in early, she'll be there about 8:30, and she goes back home very late in the night. Sometimes she go back at 9, sometimes she go back at 10. But then, the most of the time, she's been spending with the internet. She'll watch the drama, she'll watch movie, that's what she's been doing. But then, the manager thinks that she's been working hard. And then she put the blames on the others, saying that, you know what, they're not working, they're pushing all the pressure to me. And then, she does complaints that saying that, my child, she's going into the wrong way. She's too much close in the social medias with the gadgets that she has. Why this happened? Because she was not she's not a good mother. She didn't spend the time. Every time she spent in the working to do the other stuff, not a working stuff.
There should be some monitoring system in the office where they monitor what other sites you are going through. Because in big corporate sections, I would say, there are certain software applications. Me working in an IT company, so I know exactly how we can control what traffic or what is going through which computer. So in this situation, I think there are certain applications or software for each employee, whatever website they go to, there's a detailed report that goes to the manager. The employee or whoever the person is not being monitored by a manager. What about you, Angie?
I was also working in Nottingham University. I was there because to set up the visa office in Nottingham University. Because they didn't have a visa office, they outsourced a visa application to outsiders. So I went in to set up the office. Because I was so busy setting up the office, I used to work even on public holidays. I go back only at 10 or 11 at night. I go to work at 6:37, then I'm only back at 10 or 11. And Saturday, Sunday, my public holidays, I work because I have to get the system right. And I have lots of applications. And I had argument with my husband because that one, I was newly married. I was only about a month of my marriage life. I had frequent argument with my husband. He was complaining that I was spending most of my time in my working place and I do not have time for him. I don't see him much because by the time once I'm back, I'll be tired. After the second month, I felt the gap between us because ours was a love marriage. We were in love for 10 years. I didn't have that gap when we were, before marriage. I didn't have that gap, but after my marriage, I had that gap, He started to spend most of his time with his friends and I was like in the office. So I was thinking, this is not right. This is not right. If this is going to go on, then definitely we will go apart. He will be with his life and I will be with my own life. So I resigned from my job. 1 year I was jobless. I was at home. I'll be at home. I don't go out or nothing. And yes, I did. I was spending my time with my husband, but it was so boring, because morning he will go to work and, I won't have anything to do. And before that I was working for the past 19 years. So I couldn't sit at home, So I told to myself, it's okay. I will find a job where that 8 hours I'll be working. The next hour I'll be, with my family. I have to balance my work-life balance. I have to balance my life. So I got a job after a year. I managed to get a job and I'm still working in the same place. In my interview, I told the interviewer, I will only work until 5. After 5, no matter what, I'm going back. I don't want to stay back because I have a life. I have a family. I need to spend my time with my family. I don't have children yet, but I still have my husband. You see, that's what Bible say, right? And I see my parents, how they are. So, of course, I want to have that same relationship with my husband.
Did your husband force you to leave the job or it was your own choice?
It was my own choice because I was seeing that it was unhealthy for me to spend my time in the office and for him to spend his time with his friends. Then why are we married for? Once we are married, we have that commitment. We have to be committed. What I was thinking is that if we're going to continue with this relationship, when we have our kids, our children, then how are we going to spend time with them? Now itself we are not spending time with each other. And how are we going to spend time with my children? I can't be putting them in daycare and then come back home. You go to sleep, I have to do my work, right? Mm-hmm. So I need to put a stop for that. So I resigned. And I was praying so hard because I couldn't get job at all. Trust me, that 1 year I was trying so many places, I couldn't get job at all. Because because if I would have gotten a job, the same old routine would have started back. I would have stayed much longer. Because before marriage, I used to do that. I'll come back home late. I used to stay back and I'll clear up my job. I'll finish my job. My priority was my job. It's either I'll be in working place or I'll be in my house. You can't find me. It's either you come to my office or you come to my house. I'll be in these two places. And I told God that I promise once I get a job, I will come back home. If it's 5, I'll come back. I won't stay back. I won't let things to happen like how it happened previously. Within that week, I got a job.
Praise God.
Yeah, until now I'm still there. I got a job. I got very nice bosses. I'm very happy working there. Nice working environment. It's a small office, very nice working environment.
Me working in an IT company, even, okay, you get a laptop because we work on different applications, and then the worst part for us is they give us VPN connection where we go home and we can connect to the office network. So even they say, no, you just have the laptop for you, just stand by for any issues. And mostly she will argue with me then, what are you doing at home? Why did you bring the laptop? What are you doing on your laptop? I feel like, oh gosh. Now, this is what happens, because sometimes I'm working in the medical field where it's medical IT, supporting the different hospitals around in UAE, government hospitals. So if any issue is there anywhere in any operation theater, or doctor is not able to access the patient's data or whatever information, it's like you have to be quick. And they will ask you information. Whether it's 12 o'clock in the night, 6 o'clock in the morning, or 9 o'clock in the morning, they don't care. But that is where your job comes into a testing time. I mean, yeah, I need a job. I need to take care of my family. I need to take care of my wife. There are so many things on my mind. And then I say, like, I don't want to live this life of 24/7 of IT, because it's not that I don't love doing it. I love doing it. If I start working, then I don't stop. But the thing is, then there should be a balance. That's what I strike the balance with my management, and I told them, see, if we are going to do a roster for the whole month, 1 week, you roster me, no problem, but remaining 3 weeks, don't disturb me. I will not take any calls, I will not check any emails. I will, the next day morning, I'm coming to office, I will check. But roster the whole team. So we have 6 members, and that's where he started rostering the 6 people. Yeah. Otherwise, it was like 1 full month. It's 1 person, 1 employee. Okay, you have to take care, and you have to support all the hospitals. And it is like, okay. But now, I mean, when he balances stuff, it helps me. It's helping the team to learn also. So there are certain times they will ask you, and they'll put it in a very diplomatic way. You know, this hospital has a new request and we have to design this, and by tomorrow we have to present it. But then I say, is not it something urgent? If we don't do this now, it's anyway night, evening, so no more hospitals will work. I mean, yeah, hospitals are working emergency section, but the others are not working. So it's not urgent that the doctors can work. So I try to do it in a very diplomatic way, but sometimes I say, okay, I'll sit down and I'll finish it off. But sometimes you have to take the brave step and say, no boss, this is not working. The worst part now is we have 2 teams, and 1 team is going to be outsourced. There are 2 outsourced companies. So competition, that's where the pressure comes. They are performing so well, the second outsourced company. Why can't you do? They're sitting behind and finishing everything. Why can't you sit? But at times you have to take the brave step and say, see, sir, I know this is what you're calling us to do. What do you want me to do? This is my working hour. I be straightforward to my team leader. This is what is my timing, and you want me to work from this timing as per the contract, I'm working. Anything beyond that, I'm sorry. But if it's really urgent, on a weekend especially, if it is something very urgent and a hospital or the server is down or some application is down, okay, then I will come. Because it is the life of patients. That's my view.
I used to do Divine Mercy, and I like to do it every day at 3 o'clock without failure. So one day we had an outing. So I told, because we have a mixed culture there, you see. So I told my boss, we went out. I say at 3 o'clock, I want to sit down one corner. He say, why? I say I have to do a Divine Mercy prayer, because that was a Divine Mercy day, the next day. So we have to do it on the last day of Saturday, because I have to receive Holy Communion. I say today is Friday, I have to do Divine Mercy, and tomorrow is Saturday, I must go to church in the morning. He said, because you're quite far away, I was in Malacca in a different place. So he said, okay, at 3 o'clock, they told me, it's 3 o'clock, I said, yes, I'll be sitting one corner. So I did the Divine Mercy prayer. And then the next day morning, one of my colleagues, he took me to church to receive my Holy Communion. And then from that day onwards, in the office at 3 o'clock, whether I remember or not, somebody will be telling, it's 3 o'clock, it's Divine Mercy time. So, so everybody knows we pray. Because office is something, where we work is something like a family also. If we can explain what is our faith is, where we stand, and if they know we are praying, definitely they won't stop. Because certain things they can give us also. And for me, working hours, I told them strictly, is 9 o'clock to 5:30. How much work is there? But if what is my work, I will complete it. I will never leave anything. God is great because He give me, at this stage, I can still complete my work, whatever it is. My work is completed before I leave. I won't stay back. No way, I say. 5:30, I leave sharp because I got a family at the back. I say, maybe my children are big, yet I have to spend time with them. And I love going back home at that time because, it's nice to get back home with all the children there. And then Auntie, she and husband will join us for dinner. And then it's nice. So, work is work, but then we have a family and we have our prayer life too, so we can't miss any of it.
I'd like to add on that. I had a colleague in my office. He believes that the more longer he stays, the more he can get attention from the superiors, from the top management, for his promotion. But what happened was that he used to stay back until 8, 9:30, 10. Actually, our job, we can complete the work during that working hours. 8 to 5, we can complete our job. But for him, during working hours, he won't work. He moves all the time, either on the gadgets or he will be, we have our calls, so he will be hanging calls with his friends, He don't really work. But then what happened was that he got his promotion, like what he wanted. He did got his promotion. But lately, his performance was dropping. He was not performing like how he was performing because he got too tired. But lately, other staffs have been complaining about him to the top managements. He's not doing things right. There are lots of mistakes in his work because what happened was that we had another colleague of ours. He was here in Malaysia. He started to check on every staff's performance and he started to deep dive into our inbox to check how we were communicating with our clients. What are we doing? Are we working during working hours or what are we doing? His job was just to do that, to monitor us. He received his instruction from our founder of the company. So when they checked his performance, when they checked that he was not working during working hours, but he was, and his inbox, when they checked the way he communicated, they knew that he didn't know lots of things. And he was doing his work based on his own understanding. And he was not following the company's policies and procedures. You see? So now discussion is going on that they want to de-promote him, and send him again for trainings because his performance dropped drastically for these past few weeks. You see? That is why I did tell him, it's good that you had a promotion, but if you have gotten the promotion in the way that you're supposed to get the promotion, then it will be a healthy promotion. It's humiliating, when other colleagues, when they got to know, how you got the promotion, what were you doing in order for you to get that promotion, because he always will tell me that, because I shut 5 hours, switch off my PC, I'll go back. So he used to put me down. So that's when they knew that how we were working and how he was working. So he started to, now he's going through that humiliation, so they have to put him back into training, and that training is actually done for a newcomer. You see?
So now he realizes his mistake, what blunder he has done.
Yes.
But I also think, as a Catholic, God calls you to work truthfully, and He's called you to work the right way.
Because of him, staying back, right, they dumped more things to him, add more work to him, because they're thinking that he can do more. So they started to add more. When they add more, he felt that burden. He felt it's like he couldn't breathe. He said, I can't breathe. I can't go even to the toilet because I have so many things. Then how come you all can be so relaxed? Then I said, it's not that we choose to be relaxed. It's you choose to go through these burdens, to have that workload, that heavy workload. Why you have to say yes for everything? Learn to say no. If you have to say no for certain things, say no. Why you want to say yes and have that burden in you?
I agree with Angie on similar things. Just a small point that when you go that extra mile, it would be appreciated for that particular period, but then it's always an advantage that's taken because they're like, okay, this person can do it, others cannot. So, like, as long as at the end of the day my work is getting done, that's what's important for them, irrespective of, whether you're capable of, because then it's a pressure on you that, okay, they've given you have to complete that also now. Because I know I faced a similar situation. So yeah, I know how it is when, that's why it's like, can you show that you're capable of doing it or not? Like
That's
you have to draw the line.
I always tell her, being my wife, don't make your company use you as an instrument to do their job. If you're going to collapse on the floor, on the table, do they care? They'll just throw you out, get another person, train that person, and you're gone. So what's the whole point? So I always tell her, from the day one, I said, see, you're working, good. You're earning money, good. But I said, see that you don't go the extra mile. And that's the big point. She'll go the extra mile. And no matter how much you tell her, she does that. But I always tell her, see, later on, don't blame me that I didn't correct you, I didn't tell you. But I think we all are going through the same situation where job is demanding us more, and it's a very tough situation where we really have to decide. Is this job working the extra mile? If they ask you, is it worth it? Well, spending another 1 or 2 hours. What about time with the family? What about time with if you have children, what is the duration you have with your children? Because what's the whole point? You come home, now you're not having children yet, so we come home, I come home early, she comes home late. So by the time she comes home, she's exhausted. And then, okay, eat food, have bath, go to sleep, finish. The day is over. So there is no time. I realize that when prayer life is going down, our own communication is going down, then we sat and said, is money so important? Is it, God has blessed us with a job? Fine, I said, that is good. But you need to take the right decision right now. What we need to realize that whatever we do, no matter how tough the job is, and we need to go ahead and do the job productively, seek the Lord's guidance, and move ahead. We have got a lot of views from different people as to how we need to strike the balance between our work and our family, and most important is prayer. So we need to pray about it and decide, and then discern whether we can go ahead with our jobs the way we want it, so that we balance our families with work. Stay with me next time. Stay blessed.